There's a brand new feature for Power Apps that lets you take your model-driven applications and integrate them in Microsoft 365 Copilot as kind of declarative agents with UI interfaces. It's pretty cool, and in this video, I'll break down how it all works. First thing to note before we dive into how this works, this is a public preview feature right now, and you will need a Power Apps Premium and a Microsoft 365 Copilot license for this to work. And the cool thing is with this, it works on pretty much any model-driven app that you have. So you don't have to create anything new from scratch, and you don't have to modify what you already have created. Just open up your model-driven app in edit mode and go to the Settings tab and choose the Upcoming option. And if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you should see this option to enable your app in Microsoft 365 Copilot. So what this will do is allow you to download an app package. So click on this download button and it will package up your model-driven application so that we can then take that and upload it into the Teams App Store. So it will download this app package zip file for us. So at this point, we're done with the app itself. We have what we need, so we can go over to Microsoft Teams. And before you get any further here, you will need permissions to be able to upload apps in Teams. So depending on your organization and permissions there, that might be blocked. So if you run into any issues with any of these steps, contact your admin and see if you can get these permissions. You'll select the Apps tab and go to Manage Your Apps. And you'll see an option here to upload an app. So if you are an admin, you can upload directly to your org's app catalog. And if not, you can submit that request in and an admin could approve it. So I'm an admin and my tenant, so we're going to choose this option here to add it to our app catalog. And then we just point to that zip file that we downloaded from our Power App. And once you do that, it should route you to the Build for Your Org section where you'll see your new agent uploaded. It'll carry over the name of your model-driven app, and it will also show the environment that it's in. And if you have a description for the app, that will carry over here as well. And if you want to use it, just click on that application and select Add to add that into your Teams experience. Now we're all good, and we just open with Copilot. And once you get to this point, this should look familiar, and it looks like any of the declarative agents that you use or you might have built in Agent Builder for Microsoft 365 Copilot. So you can interact with it the same exact way. So what this does is it looks at all the grids and the forms that you have in your model-driven app and allows them to be accessible via the Power Apps MCP server. Notice how it also carried over some starter prompts based off of the data that we have in the app. So if we go back to the app itself, we had a few different things. So we have an approved items form and view. We have approved suppliers and onboarding request. So I'm going to ask it if it can help me find approved suppliers based in Oklahoma. So it will go and call the MCP server for my model-driven app and look up that information. Now this is what makes this integration really cool and powerful. Now, normally, if we build an agent in Agent Builder, what we get back is usually text. But notice the difference here. This is actually an editable card that it's returning, surfacing up that Power Apps grid. So it's actually returning an embedded view of my model-driven app right here in the chat experience. So I get the best of both worlds. I'm able to chat and ask questions and get quick answers, but also view the data in the app. So if I wanted to explore this further, I can click on this open button and it would take me right to my model-driven app into that filtered view. So returning data is cool, but it can also help us with entering data as well. So let's try this out. So I can ask it to help me make a new product onboarding request. And now instead of returning that grid view, it's going to return the form where I can just enter in all the information I need to quickly add a new request. This is a completely editable form, so bringing the power of my model-driven app directly into my chat. So I have all of my drop downs. I can put in the information. This is a lookup to the suppliers that I can select. And when I'm done, I can just click save and that will write that directly into my app. Now this by itself is really cool, but since we just added this into Copilot, that means we can not only access it here in the native Copilot experience, but anywhere that Copilot surfaces. So say I'm working in Word and looking at this document that I have for a new supplier that we're considering. And maybe while I'm reviewing this, I realize I want to be able to add this supplier into our model-driven app. Well, I can just open up Copilot right here in Word. And if I click on this plus button in the chat window, I can go to All Agents and select my approved products agent, which was generated from our model-driven app. And then I can ask it to create a new supplier for this supplier. And now that will open up the new supplier record form right here in my Word document. So I don't have to go open up a new tab, open up a new item in the tab, and go back and forth to copy data. I have all the info I need right here in my Word doc, and I can enter it in really fast. So I could call this in Word, PowerPoint, Excel, anywhere that Copilot shows up. So you can see just how fast that was to set up. So no coding required, no changes. We just needed to download that app package, upload it to Teams, and we were good to go. So this is really just about giving your end users the best of both worlds and being able to meet them where they're at. So they can still have their classic model-driven experience, or they can have this nice agent experience to be able to interact with your app data and enter in information. So give it a try with some of your model-driven apps and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.